Hello users. It's Mr. Computer. Today, let's unbox and play F-19 Stealth Fighter, a flight simulator developed by Microprose in 1988. First, let's take a look at the box. This is the International Amiga version released in 1991. The cover features a dark photo of a mysterious airplane, designated the F-19 Stealth Fighter, while the backside showcases screenshots of impressive in-game 3D graphics. So, what is stealth and what is the F-19 in particular? In the years following the introduction of early warning radar, it was observed that certain airframe shapes, such as that of the Avro Vulcan, produced a lower radar signature than expected for their size. However, the foundations for the development of truly stealth airframes were laid by Pyotr Yakovlevich Ufimtsev, a Russian physicist and mathematician, with the publication of Method of Edge Waves in the Physical Theory of Diffraction in the 1960s. In his book, he introduced equations for predicting how electromagnetic waves are reflected from simple shapes. The Soviet regime, failing to realize the importance of his work for military applications, allowed for its worldwide publication. As a result, it was translated into English by the US Air Force in 1971, leading to the development of programs for supercomputers of the time, used for predicting the radar reflections of new airplane designs optimized for low observability. The first technology demonstrators of aircraft based primarily on radar engineering were the two prototypes of Lockheed's secret Have Blue project, which first flew in 1977. Their unusual angled flat surfaces deflected electromagnetic waves away from the emitter, reducing RCS, making them practically invisible to radar, while their inherent aerodynamic instability was compensated by the use of a fly-by-wire system, borrowed from the F-16 Falcon. Even though both prototypes eventually crashed during testing, the project was a success. So a second dark project, codenamed Senior Trend, followed, leading to the production of the F-117, which first flew in 1981 and secretly became operational 2 years later in 1983. To draw attention away from the project, US counterintelligence specialists leaked false information of a supposedly secret F-19 stealth aircraft, which sparked public interest. A model kit of the F-19 was released by Testa in 1986. While actually bearing some resemblance to the Have Blue prototypes, it had a distinctly rounded shape in comparison. Based on this kit, Microprose released the very successful Project Stealth Fighter game for the Commodore 64 and ZX Spectrum in 1987. The 16-bit version followed for IBM PCs in 1988, titled F-19 Stealth Fighter, with support for CGA, EGA and VGA graphics. It was at this time in 1988 that a photo of the actual F-117 was made public during a Pentagon press conference, finally admitting the existence of an operational stealth aircraft. As a result, the Amiga and Atari ST versions, which were published in 1990, have an additional option to fly the F-117 instead of the F-19. Though besides the revised external 3D model, there is no difference between the two airplanes. Gameplay-wise, F-19 Stealth Fighter is almost identical to the original Project Stealth Fighter. But it features vastly improved graphics with quite detailed and fast-moving 3D models, creating a more convincing as well as visually pleasing environment. Let's remove the sleeve and open the box. The International Amiga version comes on two copy-protected 3.5-inch diskettes. This is the registration card. Then there are printed maps for the game's 4 theaters of operations, which feature different terrain, buildings and enemy equipment in-game. First there is Libya, where you fly over a desert terrain against mostly outdated Soviet equipment. Then there is the Persian Gulf. Here you're up against Iranian F-14s, F-5s and Phantoms, as well as better air defenses. The North Cape features icy terrain and modern Soviet equipment during the peak of the, quite literally, Cold War. Finally, you can overfly the green fields of Central Europe against the Warsaw Pact's best. Next, there's a keyboard overlay, which can prove quite helpful when trying to find the correct key combinations in the heat of the battle. This is the technical supplement specific to the Commodore Amiga and Atari ST. It includes a brief timeline of the airplane's history and a quick reference of avionics and controls. Finally, there's the manual with a detailed description of the game. The aircraft reference at the end serves as another means of copy protection, since you will be asked to identify a random airplane upon loading the game. Inside the cockpit, there is a HUD with air-to-air, air-to-ground and navigation modes. It also includes two MFDs with geographical and tactical map displays, as well as payload, target and waypoint information. Your countermeasures include missile launch detectors, decoys and jammers, as well as an electromagnetic visibility meter. The latter is useful in determining how stealthy you are and adjusting your tactics accordingly. Generally, active ECM, open bay doors, high-speed and high-altitude maneuvering make the red bar bigger, indicating increased visibility. The enemy's radars are either pulse or Doppler, so you should plan your course towards the former and abeam the latter to avoid detection. Your sensors are simplified and can track targets in all directions, so you will have complete situational awareness at all times. Enemy airplanes will be vectored to intercept you when you are detected by enemy radar, but they're generally not very aggressive. So air-to-air combat is very easy. Unlike the F-117, your aircraft has 4 bomb bays instead of 2. And your arsenal includes both air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons. For air-to-air combat, you are armed with AMRAAMs, sidewinders and the gun. While for air-to-ground, you can choose from a variety of missiles and bombs. The flight model features pitch and roll, but lacks yaw control. Lift is calculated, so you'll lose altitude at low speeds unless you increase your pitch to maintain level flight. Your airplane can pull 8 Gs, but rapidly bleeds energy during maneuvers. Besides the flight model's simplicity and some situations where it seems odd, it is generally good for the era. You can take off from and land at both runways and carriers. While if things don't go as planned, you can always eject and hope to be rescued. After a successful mission, it's time to party with your colleagues. But perform poorly, and not even the bartender will want to talk to you. Depending on your performance and rank, you may be entitled to a promotion or even awarded a medal. Summing up, without being too unrealistic, it is quite an easy game to play, having good graphics and a strategic element to make it interesting. Let's take a final look at the box contents. Now, close your canopy and let's take off on a mission. That was a memorable flight simulation. Did you play it, users? Until next time, here are some more videos for you.